The incredible DragonLance saga comes to its thrilling conclusion in this high-level adventure. The heroes face their ultimate challenge as the Queen of Darkness exerts all her might to claim Kryn as her own. Will the heroes defeat the Queen, or will the heroes themselves be defeated? What will Kryn's future be? One of light or one of darkness? Welcome to the world of Kryn and the legendary DragonLance.
I've thrown away, so
Well,
and I've thrown away way more than I've kept. If I had kept everything that I had ever had, I wouldn't fit in this room or the room next to me.
I think that's most people, though, isn't it?
But I mean, like all of my computers and all of my, collecting stuff that I've rebuilt and stuff like that.
And with that, we're live. Hi, Lord Forth. Welcome. And welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and others, to Atomic Peanut Butter Presents DragonLance, Dragons of Triumph, Part 3. This is the final... Nope, I lost it. I had no idea where to start that note.
You were going from count from Sesame Street to Final Countdown.
I know, but I had no idea where that note was to start it.
Yeah.
Thank God I gave that up immediately for you gentle readers and listeners. And
that was for the best.
Yeah.
And that was definitely for the best.
Wow, yeah.
Listeners out there on their orange headphones are all...
Oh, yeah, they're just weeping openly. I'll try to remember to remove that from the podcast. Anyway, welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and others, to DragonLance, Dragons of Triumph, Part 3, the final countdown. I am Adam, your dungeon master for tonight's festivities. You can catch us, as always, when we bother to play, and we've been very good of late by watching us live on Twitch and YouTube by searching for Atomic Peanut Butter Group, or... for those of you who like listening to things without seeing them, you can search for us on podcasts by searching for DragonLance Chronicles, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Until we receive our inevitable cease and desist.
Of course, yes, as the legal representation.
Which will be
of
the
group.
last episode.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Our cease and desist
episode, sorry.
spectacular.
yeah. Now
If we ever receive one, we should have that.
Now the question is, for season 2, do we just keep it DragonLance Chronicles, or do we change it to DragonLance Legends? I say keep it as DragonLance Chronicles and just have season 2 Legends.
Right.
There you go.
So that
I think we should call it
sense,
Stranger Things.
Yeah. The Stranger Things.
That'll be the
podcast.
name of the season.
Yeah.
Total coincidence with any
Things.
existing intellectual properties. Totally a coincidence, not by design or anything like that. Yeah, no.
No, not at all.
Total
Anyway,
accident.
let's introduce the rest of the group. Who do we have here in chat? We have Lord Forth, we have Captain Mymorth, Couple of old timers, been around a while. Fraley 17. I don't know if we know of Fraley 17. Do we? I just forgot. Fraley, are you new here, or are you just completely immemorable for me?
Why are you attacking people in chat?
This is what I do.
We have somebody took their time to show up, and one of our mods would have gotten rid of them if it was a
our
bot.
mods aren't
They're
here
a real
yet. That's part
person.
of the
They're a
problem.
real person, and you're insulting them.
Right. That is correct.
Well, that's what you do. That's right.
That is my thing.
Yeah, this is pretty much what happens here.
I've been doing this on not only this stream but others for the last 7 years. It was 7 years.
Now we wonder why nobody ever comes back.
It was 7
There's
years
a lot
ago.
of vitriol spewed out.
Yes. I'm a vitriol spewer. It's on my business card and everything.
Really? Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you guys for hanging out with us here on D&D Fridays, regardless of my contempt for you.
He truly loves that you're here and is happy and excited.
Speaking of contempt,
Yes, he hates each of you individually, but he loves that you're here.
yes.
As long as you're not in traffic in front of him in the morning, he's fine.
Oh, God damn it. This has been a bad traffic week, too. But let's not talk about that. Let's introduce the rest of the guys as we're talking about contempt. Let's go in order of my contempt for them. Let's start with Gas.
So is this increasing or decreasing?
That's the question, isn't it?
Let's see who goes next, then we'll know. Yeah.
Well, if Kemchan is last, we know where the scale lies.
We don't really, do we?
Answer
Though?
anything.
Yeah.
No, it really doesn't answer anything.
It
First,
poses
last,
more
middle.
questions than it
Yeah,
answers.
exactly.
Anyway, I'm Gaz, and we're nearing the end here, and so I could be playing any of 3 different characters. That would be Vantellis, the elven warlock, Kurlathlan, the half-elf, not that kind of rogue, or Ethan Tealfog, also known as the Green Mist Bard Extraordinaire. So we shall see.
All right. Let's move on to Kemchan.
See, no answers. No answers. Hey, so yes, I'm still Kemchan. I am still playing Gorel Nightfoot and Jadok on Intergraph, and let's keep going. Go from there, Adam.
Well, yes, sir. I like when you take charge. You know that.
Pick it up and run with it.
First of all, thank you, Brumenard, for subscribing with Prime. Brumenard is subscribed for 34 months, currently on a 10-month streak. Huzzah!
Yay!
Huzzah!
It's stitched on my undies. I'm assuming he could only mean my contempt for him. Let's move on to Michael.
Hey, I'm Michael, and I'll be playing a couple of different characters. Either Calum, because Fogsong has died and went to be a star, and Stone Moss, who is from the olden days.
Constellations right across the sky.
Stone Moss is a druid from the olden days who woke up and ready to fix everyone's problem once he sobers up.
As if you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while the DJ revolves it. And last but not least, Sedgwick.
That's me. And I play either Feldspar Keystone, dwarf with a bone to pick with the Dragon Army, or Sarik Cordwood, Knight of the Sword, who just wants to prove himself.
Sorry, I'm putting on the music. I was ignoring you, but for a reason. Anyway.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't. No. He's used to me by now.
We've established that. I guess now we know the order. Said you and I are on the bottom.
Or are you on the top? Or did I completely randomize it?
Likely.
Oh yeah, Bromenard just adds, which I should have done. Stone Moss Baby. Doon, 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 doon. Stone Moss Baby. Doon, doon, doon,
Nice.
doon, 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 doon. All right. Antecedently on DragonLance, all the groups, both the groups, every character has made it into the city of Naraka, home of the temple of the Queen of Darkness. Takesis herself, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it a round of applause for Takesis. All right.
And she's here tonight.
We have half of the group currently in the outer green quarter of the city, which is comprised of... There we go. Feldspar, disguised as a merchant. Barum Everman, also disguised as a merchant, but very quiet the last two episodes. Kerwin, Sir Kerwin Crownguard, goes by his real family name now. He's disguised as a merchant. Knight of the Rose, I believe he is, or Knight of the Crown. I don't remember which, and Chuck's not here to tell me, so maybe he's a Knight of a Sword. We don't know. Jadok Own Entergrath, disguised as nobody. He just walked in as himself. He's got his own wanted posters that he's handing out to people in pubs.
And offering to autograph them.
Yeah. I don't even think he's offering. I think he's just doing it and then giving it to people.
Like,
They're pre-autographed.
the pre-autograph.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then Vantellis, Sylvanesti elf, lord, and also with a what's it? Ethan. Let me get it. Wait, Ethan Azorfog.
Close.
Teal fog.
There you go. You got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the other side of town, in the blue quarter, we have, well, a combination of things. One, we have Sir Rick Cordwood, who has signed up for the Blue Dragon Army as a jailer, looking to free some of their prisoner friends, Lorana Kanan, who those of you might know from the books and or the modules. The Golden General, as they called her there. She didn't generalize anything here, but she still has played an important part. That's what generals are for, right? Because they generalize things. Is that what they call them? That?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay, good. I thought so. And also, the prisoner of Chuck's character is not his prisoner. His daughter, Pippa, also imprisoned by the Blue Dragon armies. Then we have a combination of Garel, Kurlathlon, and Burke, who have signed up to the Blue Dragon armies as fighters. However, they all came up with very cunning, deceptive names, so no one would know who they are. And here is Chuck right now. And hey, Chuck.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Chuck drove very quickly to get here tonight on time. Almost. Anyway, we'll continue with this, and then when Chuck talks, we'll fix all of the overlays. So they went in to register for the Blue Dragon Army as fighters. They all had different, secret names. And they ask, Kurlathlon, what's his name? Gives the secret name. Asks Burke, what is his name? Burke gives the secret name. Ask Karel Gary, you got to stop that. I can't pay it. I can't concentrate on what I'm doing as I'm watching.
Sorry about that.
Peer into the screen like you're in a Edgar Wright movie. Anyway, Garel says, "My name's Garel." Immediately, giving up the ruse. The person in charge of signing up all of the new recruits obviously realized who this was, and was happy that they had joined because the Blue Lady was hoping that Kurlathlan and Garel would change their minds and join the armies. Now, the Blue Lady herself, Kitiara, is not yet in the city. However, these guys have made it into the Blue Quarter. Finally, we have Calum Aramis, who
Valiant,
thank you, who everyone's in the wrong spots here. Who am I missing? Oh, guys.
The Order of the White Robes, Initiate of the Second Circle, Scion of the Last Light.
He has been assigned to go see over somewhere in the Green Quarter a certain mage that we all know, Zane Okara, currently possessed, sort of, or combined, souls combined, with Racelyn Majir. And that is where we would begin tonight's episode, but let's talk a little to Chuck. And Chuck, who are you playing tonight? And welcome to the stream.
Thanks. I am playing Burke, the ever kind-hearted dwarf. Everyone's favorite dwarf outside of Feldspar, who is now the #1 favorite dwarf.
Those ads I put out are really helping.
Yeah, for your consideration.
That's right. But hey, it's nothing wrong with being #2. And I also play Kerwin, Crown Guard, Knight of the Crown, who is currently finding a way to get close to the dragon armies to do what Crown Guards do.
Die?
Guard crowns?
Every other Crown Guard we've seen so far died. First, we saw the attack of Castle Crown Guard, where most of the Crown Guards died. Then we saw Derek Crown Guard lead a bunch of Solamnic Knights to battle at the High Clerus Tower outside of Palanthas. And surprise, surprise, also died. The last remaining, as far as we can tell from this stream, the last remaining Crown Guard is, in fact, Sir Kerwin and his... Well, nope, his son is dead too. Shit. Yikes. I even murdered his son, so the family name can't go on. You need to find yourself a wife. That should be your priority.
Well, no. I've got 3 kids in the backstory already safely tucked away, and you can't touch them.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking of Burke's kids. That's right.
Yeah,
You did.
yeah,
you did safely tuck away your children in your backstory. I forgot about that. I confused the two.
But I gave them a different last name. They're no longer Crown Guards.
It's for their own good.
It was.
And Kerwin has called himself a different last name almost every time we've seen Chuck.
Well, he doesn't want to stand out. All the other Crown Guards are dead. He doesn't want to be, assassinated.
Well, you know what? Who does? Really?
Heard it's detrimental to a long life.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
the word on the street, anyway.
Yeah.
No possible way to know for sure.
No.
Ask the Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Oh, wait, you can't. He's dead.
You also can't ask the band, because so are they. I mean, they're no one's buying their albums, is what I mean.
No, you're right. They are. That band is dead.
But anyway, let's get down to it. And let's start off with, well, we'll do this. It's getting on to evening. Since Calum has the farthest way to go, we will start with the other three in the blue quarter, with the registrar, whose name is Dahani Starfeather. And you don't remember that, Kim-chan? You gave a weird look.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that, but go on.
Oh. Bromanard, if you can get rid of the bot, I'd appreciate it. Although they do have the best viewers on Streamboo. So, the
Hold
best.
on, I gotta go check this out.
Not the most, but the best.
Well, we have the best viewers right here. There's no way they have better viewers than we have right here. We have the absolute best viewers right here. I'm going to hold a poll. If you're a viewer and you vote that you're the best viewer here, then we have the best viewers.
What happens if nobody votes?
Seems really, yeah. Then the answer is we
sad.
don't. Then the answer is we do not. In fact, have the best.
I mean, they're voting on themselves to be the best, so you'd think they would vote on themselves to be the best.
I mean, maybe they're honest.
Yeah.
Whew. It's been a rough night for chat. Rough night. For
Antagonistic.
I
chat.
just gave them a huge compliment.
You did.
I called them all the best.
I'm just trying to make sure they realize they're the best.
Yeah. So we have the best chat. We have the best audience in the history of DragonLance's longest running game.
That is true. That is a factual statement.
Kind of indisputable.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
nothing you can dispute about that, really.
Yeah.
All right, so Dahani Starfeather.
Oh, that was Donnie.
We changed it. We added an H. Didn't you see the picture I sent?
I did. Figured that was his twin brother.
Nope, that was him. And he says, "Can I show you, gentlemen, to your quarters?"
I guess so.
Oh, don't be so upset, Sir Dwarf, or is that just your
Wow. That's just
natural
me
state of
talking.
things?
That's just talking. I wasn't even upset.
Huh. Interesting. Like I said, I've never met a dwarf before.
And what are you?
I'm a human.
Oh. Well, that eyeshadow, you couldn't quite pick it out.
Oh, do you like it?
Oh, it's nice. Very, very nice.
It matches the color of my uniform.
Oh.
Please, this way. And he opens up the door to the little office building that you're in, the little shack, and gestures for you to step outside.
Yep. Hop outside.
He walks you through and he says, "Now, is this your first time in Naraka?"
I think you know the answer.
Yes, of course. So, as you know, the rest of the armies will be joining us over the next few days. That being said, typically, the High Lords often arrive first, so we're hoping to see the Blue Lady show up within a couple of days before her armies arrive. Now, of course, she'll go back out and ride in on the procession. It's all there. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance, and it's all very exciting. But for right now, we're going to put you near her personal quarters, because I'm sure she'll be looking very much forward to seeing you all. Well, most of you. And she looks at Curliflon and Gorel.
You're not gonna look forward to seeing me. We're like cousins.
Oh, really? She hadn't mentioned you. You're like cousins. You, a dwarf.
Yeah, I was Flint's cousin.
Flint. Hmm.
Yeah, and Gorell will be like, yes, he is family.
Oh, very interesting. No, she only mentioned the two of you. But I'm sure from what you say, then she'll be very happy to see you too, Sir Dwarf.
Thank you, Donnie.
Dahani.
Oh, sorry, Dahani.
It's like there was an elven princess I heard of. Her name is Alhana Starbreeze.
Everyone's heard of Alhana.
You want to make sure you really pronounce the H. Dahani.
I'll make sure I get it right next time. Dahani.
Perfect pronunciation. Well then, please follow this way. He brings you around and he brings you into area 37. Let's... So as you sort of walk down south through 31, which is an entrance into the main, it's one of the smaller entrances into the city. There's one at the south side of the Blue Quarter, and then one at the north side of the Blue Quarter as well. He brings you around the south.
Which one are we going through?
Down to the south.
Oh.
Whereas Caleb had gone through the one in the north earlier. And as you walk past what is a vast coliseum.
That's what 37 is?
Yes.
Okay.
The gates aren't closed or guarded, you notice. And he says to you, Dahani says, well, the day after the Queen enters Kryn, there's a huge spectacle that has been planned for the entertainment of Her Dark Majesty. We have many slaves that have received extensive training and preparation, will act as light infantry, and each one comprises of 120 strong fighters. And from there, we will put on a battle where there will be 4 units, each fighting each other. Oh, won't that be exceptional?
Splendid.
Smart use of your resources.
Oh, they're slaves. They're just here for fun, really. We have plenty of other human,
And you're arming them?
Oh, I mean, their weapons will be shoddy at best. And of course they won't have them available until the time of the fight, and in which case there will be gates locked and closed, and they won't be able to harm anybody but themselves. Have you never been to an arena battle?
Well, the last one I was at, they all chanted something like, "For those about to die, we salute you."
Huh. Interesting.
Gorell is quietly taking in everything. He's really starting to plan out how to either get in or out of this area.
Okay.
I just want to say that. That's
Sure.
why he's not speaking. He's like looking around, plotting like escape routes, entrance routes,
Don't worry,
type of
don't worry. Burke's got your back with keeping the conversation going.
Yeah.
All right.
I really
You're
wish
like-
you would have
you're
went
like-
with "For those about to rock, we salute you." By the way,
Yeah.
He nudges Burke and like points to that entrance on the other side of the arena where it says 33. He's like, that might be a way in.
That is the way in. You're right. That's the way we're going.
Oh, okay. Good.
And 30.
You'll have to forgive him. He's a small town yokel.
Yes, I can see. From Solace, I understand.
Yes. So he's the big city. Just it's alluring to him.
Sure, of course. As you look up at 33, you see a tower, and there's also another one, if you notice, on the southwestern side of the Colosseum as well. And there are others throughout the city. So those are towers that you'll see within the city walls. They are 60 feet high, 40 feet wide, with an open platform on top, surrounded by a waist-high parapet. And each tower, you see, has guards up on the top of it. In this case, you see 2 guards on the top of this one. And there is a doorway. Actually, right now you only see one. You see one doorway, ground level, currently closed, as you walk through that area. From there, she takes you... Actually, he doesn't take you through there just yet. You see that building? It's kind of a large building. It looks like it has an X on the roof of it almost. It's like a long X. He takes you over to that building. Right next to it, there's a small little guardhouse next to it. That building, he says, this is Kitiara's personal quarters. And it's a pretty large manor.
You're talking like here?
What'd you say?
Here on the map?
Yes, exactly there. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can see it's built out of a combination of wood and stone. The buildings in here, while still somewhat makeshift, you've seen have a lot more, time and effort and craftsmanship put into them. And I would say, if you look at that, it's probably sort of a, 2 stories, maybe 4,000 square feet. It's a pretty big structure. And then there's a smaller guardhouse that Dahani takes you into, and opens up into sort of an open area, living space. There's a living, just sort of a sitting area. There's a kitchen in the back, and then there's a hallway that leads to 4 bedrooms. And he says, currently there is somebody staying in here, and he sort of smiles. And, well, they have already picked the best room. The others, certainly you can pick among yourselves in which ones you want. They're all roughly the same size and has the necessities that you need. There are uniforms available, however, and he looks at both Gorell and Burke, they won't fit very well. So what we're going to do is I will take my leave of you and make sure that you have attire that is appropriate for your place and station here, as well as that will fit you appropriately. That being said, feel free to make yourself comfortable. There is some food in the icebox and cabinets. They are, of course, mine, but I do believe in sharing among friends.
Thank you.
Gorell will look at him and slap him on the back a little harder than he should. But thank you. And he smacks him.
And you see some words appear above his head that says, Tahani will remember that. And then he says, if there's nothing else, I will take my leave, and then I will see you later this evening. And then he stops and he turns around and he says, there is some entertainment scheduled for tonight, from what I understand. And feel free to enjoy it outside.
You are breaking up there, Adam.
Am I really? Can you guys hear me okay?
Sounds fine on my end.
Bye.
I think it's you, dude.
Okay,
think
it could
it's
be.
Mike that's
Sorry.
picking up.
Yeah. Your brain is buffering.
Possible.
He says, anyway, feel free to enjoy it outside. I hear it'll be quite the spectacle.
Where is this happening?
Oh, everywhere. And he turns and closes the door behind him.
No, that wasn't creepy at all.
I really, really want to kill that man.
Oh yeah,
And then,
yeah,
and then
for sure.
Gorell starts to ransack the cupboards looking for food.
All right, anything else the other two of you want to do while you're in this cozy cabin
So,
here?
so is this is the Blue Lady's place? Is
Well,
this it, or
you're
the
next
place
door to the Blue Lady's place.
We're next door.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
You're in that
Yeah.
little square building next to her big
Oh, next
manor.
to it.
Yeah.
Got it. Got
Right,
it. Okay.
okay.
So after
Mm.
Gorell cleans out the cabinets, he definitely wants to try and get into that manor.
Yeah,
All right. So
yeah. We need to see. We need a plan to try to get break in there.
okay.
Is there only like one room or two rooms where we're at, or is
There's
this,
there's a like a common room that has like a seating area, kitchen, and then there is a hallway with 4 bedrooms.
and one of them's claimed?
One of them is locked. The first one on the left-hand side.
I kick it open.
Well, I mean, I could have tried to pick it.
Gorell's got no patience. He just kicks it open.
All right. Roll me in athletics.
Athletics. Did it come up?
I don't. I heard something.
There
but
it
I don't
is.
have that.
So 14. 14.
14. Yeah, you're able to kick it open. Now, everybody in that room needs to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Fuck.
I mean, I did say I could pick it.
So
Now
could
what'd
the
you
rogue.
do?
I know. I didn't
Now
think it was that
what'd you
kind of
do?
rogue.
Um,
I'm sorry. What am I rolling? I'm sorry.
dexterity saving throw. Burke passed. He'll take
Got it.
half damage. Curliflon passed. Probably take no damage because of his evasion.
You are
Gorell
correct, sir.
Gorell rolled a 16.
A 16. All right, so you all pass, but you each take half damage as there is just a fiery explosion. As you open that door, bear with me for a second.
Is this fire?
Yeah,
Oh, good. I'm resistant.
you're resistant to fire.
I'm a forge cleric.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
So you will take
Half of half.
half of half. So you'll take 3. Everyone else will take 6 points of damage.
Big 0.
Forget it.
You
Yeah,
aged
forget
to
about
get
you.
0.
Yeah. Then Curlithlon just takes 60 points of psychic damage just for feeling guilty. Guilty that all of his friends took that damage, but he jumped behind basically as soon as Gorell went to kick that door in, Curlithlon's like, this is totally gonna have a trap. So he's standing like behind the back of the couch, so he just flips himself, rolls over the back of the couch, over the coffee table, pulls the coffee table over on top of him as that happens, and is protected from the blast.
There you go.
But the good news is the door's open.
Doors open. Gorell's eyebrows are singed.
You're singed. There's things in the room that are on fire. There's things inside that are on fire. Like bedspreads.
So,
Well,
it's
it's not
we
his
have
army,
a-
doesn't care.
Little slower next time, Gorell.
Why?
I just gesture
in.
around the room.
And he just walks in, like patting himself down the smoke and the
God.
A simple
wiping his forehead off.
A simple room, similar to everything else here, but nicely and expensively decorated. Although there's like tapestries on the wall that are burning as you speak. This is a wood building, by the way.
This place is gonna burn down.
Sure.
Guy was nice enough to share
are
his
there
food,
any-
and you're gonna burn his house.
Is there anything that
Fuck
looks
that
like it's
guy.
about to start burning down that we could maybe tamp
There
down?
are
yeah,
yes, there are
That's-
plenty of things. There's furniture, there's tapestries, there's drapes that you
All
could
right.
start trying to
Yeah,
pat down, and or you could just let it go up and smoke. Your choice.
No, I'm not ready to commit to arson yet.
I think that room was already taken, guys.
All right. So Gorell will like put out fires.
All right, so you take your time, you put out the fires.
And
You're
then
able to do
search.
that. Everybody during this, except for Burke, since he's resistant, you guys will all just take an additional 5 points of fire damage. Burke will take 2 as you're just putting the stuff out.
Okay.
It's the smoke that gets you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Smoke
open the
inhalation.
windows, let the smoke out. Luckily,
And
none
then
of
I
the
start-
wood caught on fire yet. It was all just fabrics, so it
That's
wasn't
fine.
too bad.
That's
I don't think he'll notice it.
fine.
Yeah, his bedspread
Girl
is
starts-
half gone. His tapestries are burned.
Girl starts searching the room, like pulling drawers open, searching trunks.
All right. Let's talk about. There is a trunk in the by the edge of the bed. There's a desk and there's a wardrobe.
Maybe
Alright.
we go about this a little different than the door.
How?
I mean,
What are you doing, Gorell? As you're saying.
Well, he's going through the desk.
All right, and so you just open up the desk drawer.
No. he'll grab a handle and then think twice, and then he'll just kind of like start, without opening the drawers, he'll just start shuffling papers on the surface that he finds.
The desk itself, besides a candle, a quill and ink, and a mat to write on the wood table. There's nothing else. This place is impeccably clean, where it used to be before all the soot. But
Oh, you mean so there's like no drawers or anything? On
there
the
is
desk
a
to open?
center drawer in the desk. There's
All
nothing
right.
on the sides. It's basically like a table with a drawer underneath. Is the desk.
Okay. So he'll look under the desk first to see if there's any thing that'll explode.
Roll me an investigation.
Investigation. -1 on the investigation.
Yeah, no traps there.
I rolled a 5.
Yeah, you're
with my
confident.
-1.
Yeah,
I'm
0
confident.
traps.
This looks fine. And he opens the drawer.
It is locked. You feel like though
Okay.
it's not. I mean, it's a lock on a desk. You're strong enough. You could just pop this open if you wanted to.
All right. Yeah, I'll pull it open.
All right, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Jesus. I'm gonna lose all.
Girl,
my
I was like,
points.
Gorell!
Girl's like, fuck, and he just yanks it.
This is only for Gorell, though. This is not for the rest of you. Just-
All right, dex save. Here we go. 20.
All right, well that's good. So you're gonna take
Wow.
half of this. So 8
8.
lightning damage as you're electrocuted as you open this up.
Ah! And he's standing there. Because
see
he
a
is wearing his
skeleton.
armor.
Yeah,
Still
oh, that's
wearing
right. You know what? Take an extra point, so that's 9.
9. Okay, fine. That's
Uh,
funny. Oh man. 9. Okay, 9 down.
I think he's gonna kill himself if we don't stop him.
he'll be okay.
He's very
this
durable.
is normal.
Now his beard is smoking,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
just
It's like,
billowing.
all right,
smoke
big guy.
over
All right,
his
big guy. Let's slow it down a little
head.
bit.
He's
like,
like,
what? I checked for
twitching.
traps.
I think we should maybe focus on trying to get into Kid's place.
Okay. He sits down on the smoldering bed.
Do you want to
Patting
know what's
out
in the
his
desk
beard.
drawer?
Did I get it open?
Yeah, it opened. I mean, you were able to pull it open.
I was probably still, the drawer is still in my clutch.
Yeah, you're holding the drawer in your hand.
What's in it?
There are some papers. You see like a registry of the Blue Dragon Army within the walls of Naraka currently, and where they are. Some other just general work papers that don't really mean anything to you, make a lot of sense to you. The itinerary for when everybody is supposed to be arriving into Naraka is there, although there's nothing really new there than from what you've already... Well, actually, you guys didn't hear any of this, actually, because you were in the... that was the Green Army that heard that, or the Green people. Whatever, you know what I mean.
Green team.
Green people?
Yes, the little alien men. You saw
I
them,
thought you
didn't
meant
you?
like leprechauns.
Wait a minute. Leprechauns are aliens? You just blew my
Oh
mind.
my god.
You've made a connection here that could change the world. You do see a timeline that the three of you have not seen before. That says, and it'll give the day of the week, but that's irrelevant to us. But for effectively tomorrow, sorry, nothing for tomorrow. 2 days from now, the gates of Naraka will close. The inner city will be cleared. The following day, the White and the Green armies will arrive. The day after that, the Black Army will arrive. The day after that, the Red and Blue armies will arrive. And they will have the first Council of High Lords later that day. And then finally, the day after that, which would be the end of this week for you, 7 days or 6 days from now, there's the call to arms, the procession, the Battle of Naraka, and the Second Council of High Lords.
I'm imagining like reading this on the in the hallway of a Radisson. This is like the convention schedule
Exactly.
posted up there. Yeah.
Exactly. Radisson. Do those even exist anymore?
I don't know. That's why I
It
referenced
was a
it.
good Radisson. If you are still around and you'd like to be a sponsor, we'd love to have you. For all of our hotel needs and conference needs.
And we might have some. You never know.
I'll tell you what, if there's a Radisson in existence, we will go there and hold Atomicon.
Nice.
I guess
Yes.
bad news for you.
Oh, man.
You're busy that day?
Are there Radissons?
Oh yeah, there's lots of them.
Oh,
I know that I know there's one in the Mall of America because I've stayed at it.
Oh.
That one probably
I
seems
think
more
I've
expensive.
seen
Where's
one
the cheapest
here.
one?
Yeah.
I,
Akron,
I'm
Ohio,
pretty
it turns out.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a Radisson here in Thailand somewhere.
Oh wow.
Because I remember thinking, oh my god, a Radisson.
I don't know that we have enough fans in Thailand though to have our con there.
We
No.
can use
No,
the
no.
Radisson.
It's for my fans.
Fair enough.
Well, what you do on OnlyFans is up to you.
It's fair. That's fair.
There's a Radisson in Sioux Falls. You know, fly everybody in, I guess.
Right, it's right by Chuck's house.
No, I don't live in
Alright.
Sioux Falls. I live outside of town.
It's right by your house. Relatively speaking, it's by
In
your
South
house.
Dakota, everything's right by us.
South Dakota seems like a pretty big surface area to me from the map.
It
anyway.
is.
Yeah, but I mean, it takes us about 2-3 hours to get it just about anywhere in the state.
Including like to like the Whole Foods. the
Unless you
closest
go-
Whole Foods.
Closest Whole Foods 4 hours away.
That's probably in like Minneapolis, I'm guessing.
Yes.
You don't have a Whole Foods in your state?
I don't think
No.
so.
No.
Wow.
All right.
Anyway.
All right. So Gorell takes that timeline paper. So he.
Yes. And
knows
posts
it
it to the bulletin board in the kitchen so
Yeah,
everyone
that's
can
what
see.
we all know. All right, everybody, memorize that.
It's
And you
kind of
said there was
charred.
Like a passive aggressive roommate.
Don't forget about this.
Yeah. And clean up the
and-
dishes in the sink, damn it.
Damn it.
Whose
said
turn was
there
it for garbage?
Oh God.
Everybody looks at Burke.
You said there was a trunk in there as well.
Yes.
I don't think you should open the trunk.
Open it up. Just do
No, stay away from the trunk.
Oh no! Gorella's still sitting there glitching with the drawer still in his hand, and he looks at Burke. Why don't you check the trunk? Ah!
All right.
And he
I
throws
will
the drawer down. Loosens up
I
the
will
drawer.
investigate the trunk.
Okay. Roll me an investigation.
12 plus guidance.
You didn't say guidance beforehand, but I'll let it slide.
Oh, I've always
once.
got guidance cast.
He just keeps casting it out himself every minute,
No, it's 10 minutes.
every 10 minutes.
16.
16. You do not see an outwardly sign of a trap. That being said, it does seem like the lock is a little bit strange on this trunk. So you imagine there's probably one in the lock.
Okay.
Hard to tell what kind, though. Why is this playing My Fair? Oh, this is London Bridge is falling down. Like, what the fuck?
What?
It's yeah.
Well,
I have to cultivate my music here a little bit more clearly.
Yeah, but it's interesting that you listen to that song like on a regular basis. So that we
No,
can
I
link to your
don't. This
playlist.
is
It's in the royalty-free playlist.
yeah. This is in a
Yeah.
site. Yeah.
and you want to let me take a look at that lock?
it's a
Yeah,
new-
you go ahead.
He's not that kind of rogue.
Okay.
Turns out.
Oh, this is the kind of rogue I am.
Yeah.
I'm a cleric.
I think this is the first time we've ever had Curlthon be able to unlock something.
Let's find out. 28.
Is this disarming the trap or just unlocking it?
This is disarming the trap.
Okay, the trap you feel is disarmed.
Now
Okay.
Gorell can open it.
Now give me a
Yeah,
lock.
now you do whatever you want with it.
Give me a lock. Do you have like a lock pick? Specific lock pick thing?
That
Yeah.
is.
No, you've got
Your
you
lock
have lock-
picking tools.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got lock picking tools.
I'm
I
sure.
have
you...
my thieves' tools on. Yeah,
All right, just use sleight of hand
Yeah.
then for that.
I
Use
will
sleight-
give you my lock picking tools because they're +1.
Oh.
All right, so roll
Well, you
again.
have +1 lockpicking tools.
He probably
Because
made
I'm a
them.
forged I'm a forged cleric. I just do shit.
All right. 26.
All right, you unlock this chest. This chest contains his armor, which is a gleaming royal blue. It has a sword, a rapier, which is at the least extremely well made, if not magical in nature. And there's also a separate lockbox in there, and if you pick it up and shake it, it sounds like there's coins.
Okay, pick it up and shake it.
It sounds like there's coins inside.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
But does it sound like it's gonna blow up if we try to open it?
It depends on what you feel about coins and their explosive properties when shaken.
Not stirred.
Shaken, not stirred.
No. Who stirs a coin?
All right. Take the box of coins.
Yeah, I'll grab that sword.
Okay.
I'm not going to bother with his armor.
I was gonna say, would the armor fit Curly?
The armor would fit Curly.
Actually, yeah, okay, maybe I should take his armor.
Yeah.
Take his armor.
All right, getting dressed up in his armor because we're going
Yeah.
we're going over to Kitiara's place.
All right.
Yeah.
It is a elven chainmail, so it's considered a light armor. And it is a
Love it.
+2, as is the rapier. Is a +2 rapier.
Nice.
The rapier also does lightning damage upon a hit. You should be writing this down because I'm making this up as I go along here. 'Cause I will not-
Okay, lightning damage on it.
So an extra d6 of lightning damage.
Damn.
D6, and that was a +2 elven chainmail
Yep.
and a +2 rapier
Yes. With
the D6 lightning.
correct.
Okay, I got it.
You want to open the box and see
Lovely.
how many coins are inside?
I mean, I don't really care about that right now.
Yes. Oh, Gurel will open it up.
All right. You open up the coin box. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
God, really starting to hate this guy.
I mean, why didn't you just smash it on the ground?
It's just the Russian nesting doll of trash.
I know. All right. I got good constitution.
Yeah. I put all these in here
14.
mostly for Kemchan, and I've not been disappointed. I can't. A 14 is good, but it is not good enough. Do you want to re-roll that?
Yeah, I got a few inspiration points. Why not? I will re-roll that. Here we go. Con.
That's a 9, a nat 1
Oh,
for a
no,
9.
definitely re-rolling
no.
that. Definitely re-rolling that. That's 2 down.
A 12 still will not cut it.
Let's see, how many do I have?
You've only used 2. How many do you have left?
I got a couple left. I'll use one more, and we'll keep it at that. Whatever it comes up. 15.
15. Final answer.
Yes, 15 is final answer.
You needed a 16. So there's
Ah,
a spray of mist just comes right into your face, and you pass out.
fuck.
You were knocked unconscious.
I immediately go and
but-
check and see if
But
he's like
I'm
still
awake long
breathing.
enough to.
He is breathing.
No, what? I was awake long enough to be like, fuck.
Yeah, then he falls asleep back onto the bed, drops the open chest of coins that fall all over the wooden floor in a clank. Some of them go rolling underneath the bed or the wardrobe. There are a lot of steel pieces in there, though, where there used to be. Now they're all on the floor. And Garel is out cold, but he is breathing. He's snoring on on his back on the bed. His feet on the floor, his back and arms splayed out and, on either side of him.
As soon as I realize that he's okay and that he's just asleep and not anything worse, I start picking up the coins.
All right.
I mean, I'll be helping and then throwing the former coin box back into the trunk empty.
All right. You have about, we'll just call it, some that are missing 493 coins, steel pieces.
Got that, gas?
Sure.
You're the guy with the pen and pencil.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a little post-it note that's probably gonna get lost. So
I couldn't see
yeah.
it much before it disappeared into your background, so it looked like a piece of American cheese. There you go. That's
Hold on,
right.
I'll just add it to my my sheet.
All right. So how long is Gorell out for? With this?
Roll me a d8.
Is there anything we can do about that? Hey, you're a cleric there. Can you
4.
help
4
wake him
hours.
up?
4 hours.
There's something we can do here.
Yep,
We
I
speed this
put
up somehow?
I put the smoldery blanket on him. I take out the flask, splash it all over the place. Now just close the door and we walk away. We can still explore.
This is why the gods left Kryn originally, by the way. This is what the clerics do. All right, with that, we are going to cut to...
I don't have lesser restoration, so...
Well, you should cut to another scene. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna cut to Rick, just in time for him to start having a coughing fit.
I'm fine.
So he's alive. Thank goodness, ladies and gentlemen. It's a miracle. Yeah, so you are going through, with your jailer friend. I forget his name.
The last thing I wrote down was Skip, and it didn't make any sense to me, so that
That's
might
his
be
name. Yep, that's it. Skip. Skip Bayless. Skip Bailiff is his name.
It's not a bad name, actually.
That's not bad. Yeah. So Skip Bailiff is sort of showing you the ropes. He's telling you that tonight you're going to stay here. There's like a little cot in the back, and really, this for right now it's kind of just drunken, disorderly. Let people sleep it off, that kind of thing. Usually it's very quiet here. There's not a lot of people yet in the Blue Quarter, even on the outskirts here. There's some, but not a ton. And he says, tomorrow, before they clear out the inner city, he's going to walk you through the dungeons of the temple, because everybody is going to be, by day 6, stationed there. But it's the only time that he's going to have, before they close everything, that because the next day everything is cleared. So tomorrow will be the only day he'll have to sort of show you where everything is, and make sure that you understand what to do.
Sir, I assure you I'll keep a firm hand on these ne'er-do-wells.
Okay, yeah. I mean, they're just guys looking for fun usually. But you see anything that doesn't look like a real dragon army person or creature or thing, you let me know immediately. And he points out to some, makeshift buildings down toward that bot. You see where there's the 31, 32 down on the just south of 37 there on the map.
Let's say yes.
So down below that, there's a series of altogether little buildings, and I'll ping it on the map here. I'm not.
Oh,
Right there.
okay, that's helpful.
Yeah. So
I see it.
Lower right hand corner.
yeah, there are rooms. There are rooms there, and you'll be able to find him there if you need him. And that's if anybody. And again, the guards will usually handle them, but if something comes through that just looks fishy to you, don't try to deal with it yourself. Just come to me.
Aye, sir.
All right, and then he leaves you alone. Is there anything you want to do in this?
Well, I'll stroll back and forth through the cells and make sure there's none of the prisoners we're looking for. I assume they wouldn't be at this level anyway, but
No, it's actually empty in here other than you. There are like 3 cells in this place. Can hold probably, 15 people uncomfortably, but you can shove them all in there if you need to. No beds or anything, just, benches around the walls, empty in the middle, that sort of thing.
I assume it's got a ring of keys at some point.
There is a ring of keys. If you pick them up, you notice that there are 4 keys on this particular ring. If you play around with them, which you'll have time to do.
See which one goes where.
3 of them go to the 3 cells, and the other one is to the front door.
And the dungeons he mentioned are not, accessible here.
No, you'd have to go into the center of the city, into the temple.
Okay, it's a different place.
Yep. That big black blob in the center,
Yeah.
36, that's where he's going to take you tomorrow.
Well, then I'll just continue to play my role as the dutiful jailer
Okay.
and just try to blend in till I can get access to those dungeons tomorrow.
All right. Caleb, you have been left to your own devices as you walk through the gates on 31 to the north there. And tell me what you're going to do.
Well, I'm kind of just walking along, really trying to understand how it is I got to be here to begin with, because, I look up and I study stars.
Yeah.
I don't belong here. And I keep saying this over and over to anybody that listens. I don't belong
Nobody's
here.
listening
Nobody
to you.
seems to care.
Yeah, you're talking to them and they're just walking past you. And
Yeah, like I really don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why I'm here. But I do have the directions to find Zane there, I do believe.
Yes. So
Eventually, I do come up to the place there in the green quarter and find this quote-unquote wizard named Zane O'Care. And,
you come to what looks like a small wooden tower. It's about 30 feet high, 20 feet wide, so almost it's almost half of, although not exactly, but almost half of the big towers you see at 33 that are throughout the walls of the city. However, this is more square in shape, and you can tell was built here, and it was built in stages by different people.
Power by committee.
Exactly. Not extremely well made.
Why am I not surprised? Wizard Tower. How, it's a trope that just goes together.
Yep. You do see that etched into a wooden sign upon the door. You would recognize, without needing a roll because of your background, what looks like the 3 moons, even though you've only seen 2 of them, but the 3 moons all aligned, one after the other. You have Solinari, the biggest moon, up at the top. Then you have Luniatari down in the middle, slightly smaller. And then slightly smaller than that is the Black Moon New Atari.
Yeah, and I've definitely tracked its movements based upon the movements of other celestial bodies.
Yep.
So I'm very familiar that it exists.
Roll me Arcana if you've got it, or History,
Sure.
whichever is higher.
Anna. 27.
That's really good.
Spent a lot of time in the library.
A lot of time in the library, a lot of time looking at stars and constellation, studying the movements of the moon as you would as a mage, even though we haven't really played too much with that here in our game. But you can tell that, I mean, what is described here with this sort of triple lunar eclipse is not something that you've ever heard of even happening. And as you're thinking about this, you're trying to think about, what and extrapolate what the night sky would have to look like in order for this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And a shiver runs down your spine. And as you're thinking back to this and thinking back to all these star signs that you've seen and the research that you've done, particularly with the constellations and the moons, the last time, or the only time it was rumored where these three moons were aligned like this, in this pattern, was during the night of the cataclysm.
All right. So I've got my book out and I'm writing down all these cryptic symbols and sketching lines, and all of a sudden I kind of like stop and glance up and realize that we're probably on that current trajectory.
Yeah. As a quick aside, Chris Andrew, welcome. Says, sorry I'm late. I was searching for a longer running DragonLance podcast and found none. Of course you didn't, because we are the longest running DragonLance podcast. On the interwebs, possibly and probably in the audio webs. Gary, you're muted. Because he's yelling at his neighbors. But yeah, you're not gonna find a longer running campaign, DragonLance campaign, on the internet that honors 5 years, 137 episodes, I want to say. And I just defy you, any one of you, to find me a completed DragonLance campaign of the first modules on the interwebs. Don't think you can do it.
I have to point out that we also are not yet that.
Right, but we're getting there, and we'll do it.
But we're not there. We're not there yet.
Yeah, I know. Let's think of how cool it's going to be when we're the only ones.
It'll be wonderful.
Thanks. I don't think you've seen anybody go through Dragons of Triumph. That many. We're past that by 3 episodes now. Chumps,
We're nothing
suckers,
if not persistent.
losers. Yeah,
We may not be good, but we are persistent.
and we're powering through. It may not be enjoyable, but it'll be done. That's what I tell my wife. All right.
He's talking about doing the dishes, folks. When he goes and does the dishes.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys were thinking of, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, what are you doing?
So I stand there for a little bit, just kind of staring up at it, kind of digesting this information, looking up at the tower again, marveling at its lack of architecture. and kind of glancing around, observing the people around me, and noticing if they like have any deference to the tower. They don't care.
No, none of them
They
seem
don't
to
seem
care.
to notice it. Yeah. Okay.
The door opens as you do this.
All right. And is there anybody there?
No.
So do I think it was like an unseen servant type thing, mage hand?
Roll me another Arcana. We haven't rolled dice in a while. A couple episodes. We're gonna roll all of them tonight, guys. Even if we don't find
24.
24. No. Does not seem like an unseen servant or a magic. What is it? Magic hand? Is that what it's called?
Mage hand.
Mage
Yeah.
hand. Magic hand.
Magic
That's also
hand's fine.
what I tell my
He's a
wife is
magic
coming.
man.
Here come the magic fingers.
And I say it just like that. It's really a turn on.
It works 60% of the time.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because he's wearing Sex Panther.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I see that. So I'm like, oh, I guess this is an invitation.
Yeah.
And so hesitantly, there's no confidence here whatsoever. I mean, I used up all of my bravado
Yeah.
getting myself this far. But I just forced one foot in front of the other. It's like, well, this is what the assignment is, so I need to go and see this through.
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, because after all, I've been entrusted to this by none other than Parsalian himself. But I need to go and find this Zane Okara fellow, and so yeah, by this time I'm at the door, kind of like taking a cautious step over the threshold, expecting at any moment a magical glyph is just going to explode and annihilate me.
And that's only if Gorell was in the room.
And then finally I'm standing inside whatever inside looks like.
All right, as you stand inside, the door closes behind you. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Right? 8.
You are very nervous.
I didn't need to even roll to tell you that. I am. It's a good thing I peed a little bit ago because otherwise I'd be running down my leg.
It's a good thing you're not wearing your white robes.
Yeah. I'm
As
wearing
you
the brown on purpose.
Yeah. This is why he carries them around.
Yeah.
So, this room it looks like a library. It's, again, not very big. It's probably 10 feet, ceiling's 10 feet high. Again, it's like a 20 foot by 20 foot wall. All filled with bookshelves and books. There are 2 chairs. Both look very comfortable, like armchairs, with a small round wooden table in between. There is a candle lit in the center of that table. But as you're looking, there's wall sconces on going up to a staircase, and you see one after the other going up the stairs, light, as if beckoning you up that way.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm looking for a wizard, Zane Okara. I probably said that wrong. I'm really, really sorry. I said that wrong. I didn't mean to mispronounce your name. But is Zane Okara here? I have been sent for a Zane Okara Iolanth.
You
Sent me. I'm not just wandering around lost. I actually have been sent here by Iolanth. Zane Okara, if you're there. Just keep babbling, rambling.
If Zane is there, he's assuming you're trying to serve him legal papers. You see the wall sconces on the wall, which would be the left-hand side if you're going up the stairs, and the stairs are sort of off to the right of you, but in the back corner, the back right corner. And You don't feel a breeze. However, the flames on the wall sconces all sort of move as if they're being blown by a slight breeze. So they're angled, each one perfectly, as if they're pointing up the stairs.
I guess that's an arrow. So here I come. I'm gonna come up the stairs now. I am walking up the stairs now. Don't attack or anything. I was sent here, and I start going up the stairs,
Right.
announcing this the whole way.
As you do, there are more wall sconces. Again, it's only about a 10-foot stair, so there's like the final 2 will light as you get on there. It's sort of like those motion lights that you put on stairs, so as you walk up, they light up. So that's happening here. You get to the second of what you assume is a 3-floor tower. The second tower does have the second floor of the tower does have bookshelves in the room. There are also tables in the center. No chairs here, but you will see, because again, you're still looking at bookshelves across every wall, but they don't all have books in them. There are others that have what you would know as spell components, and other shelves that have different like glass jugs and vials of things in murky liquid that from where you're standing you can't necessarily see, but it's sort of like this amber liquid.
Yeah, I probably have some guesses what it is, but I'm not going to bother with them.
Okay.
Just
and then, again,
I them sent me. Hello, anybody here? Zane, Okara.
You're on a landing. And it's sort of like the staircase sort of turns and continues to go up.
Right.
And the wall sconces, the first 2, one pops up, then the second one above that lights up as well on its own.
I'll start up that way, continuing the same routine.
Yep, same thing happens. As before, where every time you go up the step, the wall sconce will light. And you get to a wooden door at the top of the landing.
Hello, anybody in there? I'll knock.
As soon as you touch the door opens. In the room, and again, this is same as before, you see bookshelves lining each of the walls. This one is covered, or not covered, but full again of books, each one. And there is a bed, sort of, and doesn't look super comfortable, but there's a small, like, twin-size bed off in one corner. But there's a fireplace by a window, a small window, sort of directly north of this building. And sitting there in a tattered but fairly comfortable looking red armchair, reading a night blue bound spell book, you would identify it as, is what at first looks like an elf in black robes. However, as he turns to look at you, the first thing you notice is he has these almost glowing, because of the light of the candlelight reflecting in them, golden hourglass eyes. The next thing you notice is that behind this hood there is just a skeletal elven face. And with that, we are going to take a quick break.
All right.
So, thank you guys for hanging out with us on D&D Fridays, where Atomic Peanut Butter presents DragonLance: Dragons of Triumph, Part 3. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Not out of here.
Besides you, Chuck, you're welcome to leave at any time. we are back. Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and others, to Atomic Peanut Butter presents Dragonlance: Dragons of Triumph, Part 3. Caleb, you appear to have discovered Zane O'Cara, a.k.a. Gully Dwarf Massacre.
Hello, sir. I was sent here to
Sit.
talk to you. Oh,
And you look around and there's no chairs.
okay, sure. I'll be happy, and I sit on the floor.
As you start to sit on the floor, a wooden chair, not super comfortable, but not uncomfortable, appears beneath you as you sit, and you just sit into that chair.
A little
Right
bit
to the
too
chair.
hard then, because I wasn't really expecting.
Exactly, yeah, you really hit your Cossacks really kind of hard there.
Like, thank you. Wasn't expecting such hospitality. Anyway, Iolanth sent me. She said something about one, she didn't want to deal with me, and two, because, and I quote, he would be interested in meeting you. I have no idea why that should
Parsalian
be.
sent you, didn't he?
Who?
You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, Parsalian. Yes. Sorry, I didn't quite hear it. I was busy babbling, and I
Yes.
didn't hear what you said. But no, I do know Parsalian, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If he and then, well, it's really hard to explain, but
No, it's not. He sent you here to stop me.
stop you. Yeah, I'm not sure what are you doing that needs stopping exactly, because I'm not really clear on the on any of this.
Well, be
You must have something that you're doing that needs stopping. Would it have anything to do with your door? Because that was interesting now, wasn't it? But I study stars mostly. That's kind of what I do. I work with
You're Sylviara's grandson, aren't you?
I don't know for sure.
No, you are.
He didn't really say when he read the letter. He just kind of looked at me and then just ignored me. So I didn't get anything much from that exactly.
I'm telling you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know for sure, but if you say so, sure.
You don't know anything about her, or do you?
I mean, maybe a smidge legend type thing, but no, not really. I'm gonna say no, not enough to bore you with even a small paragraph. No.
Interesting. And Aramis,
My middle name, yes.
what do you know of him?
I believe he was my grandfather, probably.
No. No.
No. Okay.
Although
that
there
was
is
my
there is a connection.
impression, but what's that?
Although there is a connection.
Okay, could be.
What do you hope comes of this meeting?
Well, since you already pointed it out, I'm supposed to stop you from doing something. No idea what or why. Unless it has to do with the door, in which case I kind of get it, but I don't get why they would send me, because, like I said, I'm the guy that watches the stars and reads the books, and lets other people know what's going on, so...
You're
Maybe it doesn't
talking
make
about
any
the
sense.
door to my tower?
Yes.
Those...
The Cataclysm door, I think I'm going to name it.
The door to my tower is just a door.
But the images upon it
Oh,
are very telling.
very, very interesting. Would you like
If my calculations are correct, that constellation has not appeared in the since the Cataclysm, really.
Yes.
So,
Well,
and I'm guessing you already knew this. This isn't randomness that you put this on your door exactly.
no, it's not. Would you like a glass of wine?
Oh, I really don't imbibe, but I think today I can make an exception. Yes.
There's And again, what you would think would be an unseen servant, but you can tell that it's not, just based on your other interactions. In a table near Zane, he doesn't make a move even, but the bottle comes up, fills 2 goblets. One he just picks up in his skeletal hand. The other is brought over to you.
Oh, thank you. I take it and not really sure what to do with it, and kind of almost becomes something just move around in my hand a lot.
What do you know of me?
I know less of you than I do of anything else. Like I said, I don't understand why I was sent here exactly. But
What
yeah,
do you know
no.
of what's happening here in Naraka?
Oh, that I do know a little bit about. You're trying to bring about the Dragon Queen to end the world again for some bizarre reason that doesn't
Don't-
make any sense to
please.
me. But you know,
Please, don't loop me in with all of the others. I'm not officially part of the dragon armies.
okay. You're just here observing, making notes.
For now, yes, working on, well, future endeavors while I wait. That being said, I don't do anything that isn't part of my own best interest. Let's say. So whether or not Takesis enters this realm, I will have to decide. Is this or is this not in my best interest? You
In
understand?
what way would it be in your best interest? Other than the obvious of getting power, but since you're not worshiping Takesis directly, at least, she won't be granting you much power. Not that you get power from gods anyway. So why? And I kind of pull out my notebook a little bit and kind of flipping through and writing down thoughts. If he asked to see them, I'd show them. Just basically because I'm saying these things out loud as I'm writing them.
Well, let me ask you, Calum. You say you don't get your power from gods, but don't you? From Solinari. Even though you haven't taken the test, you do, other than this guise you're wearing now, wear the white robes.
Well, I'm also a druid, but yes, I have been after my. It's kind of confusing. I was born into the Order of the Astral Druids, which I don't know if you've heard of them. Very small order, very select. Very
I've heard of
distinctive.
them.
There's also kind of a Circle of the Moon order, which orbits around them, and I actually was not determined. So I've actually gotten some information from both of them a little bit, and then suddenly one day they sent me off to hang out with at that Wizard's Tower, and told I should learn all of that stuff instead because that would be more useful to me than any druid type stuff. Which I guess whatever, and I cast guidance on myself as I'm saying all of this, or as I like to call it, druid astral assistance.
I know you like to do that, and that's fine. So just keep. Yeah, and he's staring at you the entire time. And if you could see the words that pop up above his head, it would say, "Zane noticed that." But
I didn't try to I wasn't casting it in secret.
He doesn't seem to be bothered by it. Interesting. Now, you say that you were sent here, or maybe I said, and you agreed that you were here to stop me.
Right. So I guess, like I said, I'm not really big into subterfuge or,
Good,
all of
neither
that
am
kind
I.
of stuff where I sit around and try to. It's not my thing. And like I said, I don't know why they sent me. They should have sent somebody else if they wanted to stop you, right? I wasn't the right pick. I don't think. I didn't study heroics. I didn't do that. I studied the stars.
I didn't study heroics myself, if that makes you feel any better.
Oh, good.
What, if I may ask, and since you're not big on subterfuge, what do you plan on doing to stop me?
I have no idea. Find out what you're up to first, I guess. And maybe try talking you out of it. I don't know. They didn't really give me any really clear direction.
For what I'd
They
say,
didn't like say, if you go there and offer him 1,000,000 steel pieces, he might take it. Or if you go there and you threaten him with X, Y, and Z, he might concede. Or if you go there and you tell him this bit of information, they didn't give me anything. And like I said, I'm not a rogue. I'm not a spy.
no.
The stars, I'm sorry, the stars didn't have, the information about you specifically and how to stop you from whatever you apparently aren't even sure what you're doing.
I haven't quite decided here yet, no.
Exactly, so I'm not sure how to stop you from doing something you don't even have decided yourself.
Bernard says, does Zane have a silent spell? He does, as a matter of fact. He could cast it on him.
Gets deafness on himself.
Yeah. Permanently.
And of course, in between, he's continuing to babble.
Yeah.
I knew I should have stayed in the library. Why did I come here?
Why do you think Parsalian, although of the White Robes himself, why do you think he would send a novice white-robed mage / druid of the astral stars here to stop me?
Because he thought you were redeemable?
Takes a sip of his wine.
The only thing I can think of.
And then coughs a bit into a handkerchief. Roll me a perception check.
I can help you with that. I know a little bit of healing type stuff. 15.
Yeah, you see that there's blood on the handkerchief.
Would you like? I can maybe whip you up some ointment. It would be from my druid background, of course. Some of nature's bounty.
I thank you, but there is nothing that can cure my malady, unfortunately. Not yet, anyway. But I appreciate the offer. And when you say that you wonder if Parsalian sent you here so I could redeem myself or be redeemed, I wonder what he thinks I've done or what he thinks I will do that needs redeeming.
Yeah, that's no idea, actually. I said he didn't tell me much of, anything. He kind of keeps everything to himself. Now, if you've ever encountered him or not, but
I
he's pretty
have.
close to the vest.
Yes. You'd be surprised, but Parsali and I once were very close. He was a mentor of mine before and shortly after I took the test.
Oh, well, then you probably have better insight into it than I do, then. I should be asking you these questions.
You should. If only you knew the questions to ask.
Yes, indeed.
But yet he now picked you, and you have not taken the test. Not yet. Will you?
Maybe. Maybe I'll continue being a druid.
Well, very interesting. He looks out the window, and he sees that it's getting dark. Well, darker, of course. There's big clouds in the sky. It's been raining, which I forgot to remind you guys of, but it's been still downpouring.
I do have some questions, though.
You do?
You said that Aramis was not my grandfather?
No.
Who would be my grandfather?
His friend, of course, Stone Moss.
Stone Moss would be my grandfather?
Yes.
No, Stone Moss was just the person I delivered the letter to.
Why do you think the letter was needed to be delivered to him?
I don't know. It was given to my mother?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, they were all very close, from what I understand. But that's a conversation, I suppose, for you and Stonemoss. Assuming the opportunity arises.
I suppose so. I don't know why he wouldn't have told me when I met him.
How did he react to the letter upon reading it?
I don't really know him, but he got very quiet and cold, and then I saw him drinking some very strong dwarven stuff. After that dwarf died.
What
The
dwarf?
one with the feather in his helmet? I don't know.
Nope, he had the one with the feather did not die. The one with the griffin mane on the...
Griffin mane on his
which
helmet.
you know is a horsetail, you could tell, but yeah.
With the horse tail on his helmet. It made several of the group upset. I didn't intrude. Stayed in the background.
Roll me a perception check. Or no,
Alright.
insight.
No, insight's bad. Perception's good.
Yeah, you can. It's hard to gauge his... because he doesn't have any skin anymore.
Mhm.
So it's kind of hard to gauge his reactions. And again, you also are just staring at these, golden hourglass eyes as you're trying not to look at his just skull-like visage. You said you had other questions.
Well, that was the big one. But then the other one would be, what are your options that you're considering doing?
You mean here in Naraka?
Right, that I'm supposed to stop you from. I'm just curious if you tell me, you got these top 3 things out of the 10, or...
Sure. I'd be happy to talk about it. There's no one other than my brother that I could really speak to, but he doesn't understand these types of things. Well, I could assist and allow the Queen of Darkness to enter Kryn.
Mm-hmm.
I could help you and your friends. Well, colleagues doesn't sound like your friends. Doesn't sound like you know them well at all.
Not at all, no.
Um,
Work acquaintances.
Understood. I've always thought of them, well, many of them anyway, not all, as work acquaintances myself. Others, I suppose I used to think of as family. I could certainly help prevent Takesis from entering this realm. I've yet to figure out which would help me more.
So what would, considering that most people would benefit from Takesis not entering this realm, what would you consider to be beneficial to you to assist in the prevention of Takesis from entering this realm?
Well, you already mentioned it earlier on in this conversation. Power.
Well, yes, of course, but I can't offer you no power that I can offer you can outmatch your own.
Oh, no, you couldn't offer me anything that could help.
Exactly, and I'm not even
Yes.
being, I'm just being honest.
Yes. It's what would help me gain more power? Aligning with Takesis? Or becoming her adversary? You are just an interesting little subplot.
Oh, I wouldn't even call myself that.
I'm trying to be nice since you're a guest here in my tower.
I don't belong here at all.
No. Well, you don't belong here. No, you are completely out of your element. That being said, that is why I find it so fascinating that Parsalian sent you.
Unless Parsalian wanted to confirm what he probably already knew about the constellations. I can't imagine. And I could have confirmed that for him weeks ago. If he'd have just given me the clue and I could have sat with the math for half an hour like I did outside. Didn't take long.
what do you think those constellations mean? Besides, of course, the last time that they've happened. What is your interpretation of the sign upon my door?
That you are, based upon our conversation, contemplating the outcome of that, but you know what's going to happen.
I know what has happened, yes.
And you know what will happen. If it comes to pass the same way again, there would be a new cataclysm of some sort. Although in this case, I wasn't around for the last one, obviously, although apparently my grandfather was, if the rumors are to be believed. But, and grandmother too. Very strange. But some tie-in with that, perhaps? I don't know, and I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. But for yourself, why you would have those on your door, I believe, is you're looking at the duality of it and what it means to you, and as a reminder that you have options here, and you can either herald in this new Takesis age and potentially destroy many, many, many lives, which may give you more power in some way, or you could stand against this Takesis age and by doing so acquire even more power, because you won't have this adversary here constantly being your foil, and you'll be the more powerful because you won't have something even more powerful sitting above you.
Very close. I can see why Parsalian sent you here now. Excellent. It is growing late. I still have studying to do. I'd recommend you do not leave this tower tonight.
All right.
That being said, feel free to make yourself at home. My servants will ensure that you do not get into any sort of trouble by touching the wrong things. I apologize that I can't offer you a bed. However, the chairs down in the library on the first floor are surprisingly comfortable.
I'm a druid. I'm used to roughing it. I'll be fine.
Excellent. And I will warn you that while you are not a prisoner here, going out at night, beginning tonight, well, you would not survive.
Good enough. I don't need any more argument than that.
Nope. You'll find out certainly soon enough, I suppose. Anyway, please make yourself at home.
Let's find out about what?
Oh, what's going to happen tonight?
Yes. What is going to happen tonight?
Oh, you said you didn't want to know.
No, I want to know.
Okay, yes. Well, the
I
tonight
misunderstood
begins.
the question.
Tonight begins the night where the dead of Naraka awaken and will walk the streets.
Oh, that's charming.
And because you, of the white-robed persuasion that you are, even with your druid piece of it, clearly would be marked by them as one of good intentions, well, they would come for you first.
Yes, well, I will heed your advice and stay inside.
Provernard says, "Undead Mardi Gras, get your beads out, baby." Excellent. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Now, would you mind if I cast any spells of my own, particularly sending spells or things like that?
You'll find that you may cast spells within this tower, anything that you try to send outside of this tower won't work. So don't bother wasting the spells or the energy.
All right, sounds fine.
But of course, you're free to do what you'd like.
I'm just curious. If I do, I'm not being aggressive.
No, I understand. That being said, I am not quite prepared for others in your party to know that I am here just yet.
And that's fine.
Also, if I allowed any sort of outside communication to come in or out. Well, we wouldn't be able to have such a clear and honest conversation because others would be listening. For example, Takisas herself. And you wouldn't want that, would you?
No, not at all. Not at all. No.
And neither would I.
I'll not bother with sending any animals or anything like that. I'll just content myself with my studies. I have many things here to amuse myself. I'll maybe peruse your library a bit.
Of course. I would recommend staying away from anything with a night blue binding, however.
Very well, yes.
Just for your own safety, of course.
Not a problem.
And with that, he gestures and the door behind you opens again to the staircase.
All right, so I'll head back out.
All right. And head downstairs. With that, we are going to cut to the group in the Hair of the Troll Tavern. Ethan, aka Athea, I'm sure is playing a song. Give me a performance check if you wouldn't mind.
Gary, you're muted.
29.
29? Oof. All right, gets a good roll. Tell me what type of song you are playing and what you're trying to inspire in this tavern of what you know to be at least there's enough of the Hidden Light, which are the resistance group within Naraka here, that Odie feels pretty comfortable talking freely. So what are you what type of song are you playing? What are you hoping to accomplish here with this song?
I'm playing something that was maybe an older song that maybe has some ties to the land and the world. Something that is maybe considered might be considered opposed to the aims of Takisas, but nothing that's like directly political or anything. Just
the blood of angry man.
Sure, why not? I'm playing some. Yes, I'm doing Les Mis songs.
Viva la revolution! Bromenard says, "Oh, Takisas, you're so fine, you blow my mind, Takisas." Takisas. All right. Roll me a bardic inspiration for everybody.
They don't roll. You don't roll anything for bardic inspiration.
Oh, what's your
have
number,
the die?
I thought you had a die that you. Right? Doesn't everybody?
They get the D6 that they can then use.
You probably have a D8
so I don't need to
by
roll
now.
anything right now. What?
I'm sure you have a D8 by now. What level are you?
Oh, actually, I don't know what the.
It's got to be a D8. Just roll me a D8.
Yeah, no. Actually, it's it's a D10.
Oh, D10. That makes it even worse. All right, roll me a D10. Because this is not typically how bardic inspiration works, since it's going to everybody here.
No.
But roll me a D10. 6.
6.
For the next 24 hours of game time, everybody on the green team will have a +6 that they can add. What can you use that for your particular bard?
You can do that for any ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
All right. So make a note of that. You have a +6 within the next 24 hours of game time.
+6. Nice.
Single use or to everything?
Single use. Nice try, though.
Worth
it
Worth a
was-
shot.
it was a
plus 6.
great effort, yeah.
Worth a shot.
So you can decide when you want to use it.
I mean, it was a really good song.
It was a really good song.
It was. It actually kind of sobered me up. Even I feel much better after hearing it.
Yeah, you
Single
hear it
manly
from
tear.
the bed upstairs as you're trying to nap.
I like wake up and come down, and I'm like standing there, a little tear in my eye, but the whole emotional gamut.
He's
as I
just
hear
standing on the stairs, tear in his eye, his arm up in a fist in the air.
Feldspar was singing along, but he didn't know the words, so it was like 5 seconds behind.
Yeah. Almost sounds like a round. Yeah.
Kerwin sees Stonemoss come down and singles for the bouncer to take care of him again, though.
Yeah, the bouncer is out dealing with some unruly draconians outside. All right. As you all are in there listening to this song, you hear. Let's see if there's any box text here. I don't know if there is. Where is it? 4. There's not any box text, but you hear outside of the tavern a horrible mix of wailing, screaming, and moaning. And it's muted because you're inside, so you can't tell exactly where it's coming from. Although, yeah, hard to tell. Everyone can roll me a perception check. It's going to be a very high perception, but it can't hurt to try.
Wait, this is the
Green team.
Green team.
the green team.
So
okay,
Jadak.
so
The Stone
Jadak,
Moss's
yeah.
team.
Stone Moss's team.
Don't moss.
All right. You said
Yeah,
perception, right?
No. Not
Live Moss. Stone Moss.
Perception, you said?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Perception. Okay, there you go.
Oh,
Oh wow!
There
Oh,
you
that's-
go.
Jack.
26 and a 19 and a 17 and a 19 and a 12 and Stone Moss got a 10, but he's still a little bit, wheezy from all that alcohol.
Yeah, a lot of good. Those 19s were good, but they weren't good enough for this. But Jadak.
Jadak sees everything.
Well, this time you hear it.
Oh, okay.
You hear this noise and you sort of get up and you wander to the window. And it's basically an open air window that just has shutters, so you're looking, directly outside. And you listen very intently with your minotaur ears. And Burke is trying to just give us some information on the Knights of the Crown while we're.
Sorry, I was trying to cover something up in my character sheet.
He's had a little too much to drink. I'm a Knight of Solamnia, aligned with the Order of the Crown. Like when Tyler.
yeah, you are, buddy. Yeah, you are.
And it goes on and on about what they do. It's a group that exploits virtues of cooperation. Extols virtues of cooperation,
Or
loyalty,
sometimes
and obedience.
exploits.
That's right, another round for all of us.
Let me tell you more about the Knights. They're so cool.
I'm recruiting. They tell you about their benefits. There's college benefits.
So anyway, you, Jadak, sort of tell you as you look toward like the sewer entrance that this wailing and moaning and groanings are coming from the sewers, heading up toward the the rest of the city that you're in right now.
Okay. I make note of that. Then I'll go. Then Jadek goes back to the group, and he will quietly tell the group about what he heard. It sounds like there are people down there, like in peril. Yes, he says that word, peril.
If Garel were there, he'd say, "I'm sorry, what does that mean?"
Yeah, exactly.
Where are these people?
It sounds like it's coming from the sewer. You don't hear that? And he kind of motions over to the window.
Oh, I heard it. I thought it was coming from just down the road.
No, it's definitely coming from the sewer.
Look at Odie. What's the quickest way into the sewer?
Well, I mean, there's a sewer grate not far from here, just down the road.
Yeah. What do you think they have people down there? Are they like, I don't know, torturing people down there?
And you still hear this. This sound is just continuing to get louder and louder too. As
you
you
don't
I
talk.
think we're
that?
about to find out, guys.
I think Odie, and I say to Odie, he's like, you don't hear that?
I hear it. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
This is new. This isn't something that usually happens.
I'm going up to my
Okay.
room and getting my axe.
Yeah, I've always had my sword with me.
Oh yeah, Jadek's just armored up and prepped for anything.
Yeah, I don't think anybody
wait.
besides Stonemark even went to the room, except for at some point Feldspar slipped into something a little more comfortable as you guys were hanging out at the bar.
He's in his pajamas.
He's like, ah, damn it, I gotta change again.
Just got comfortable.
Are those silken slippers?
Yeah. He's
Wow.
dressed like Desi Arnaz from I Love Lucy.
Monogrammed.
Yeah, FK
Monograms.
on the just above his heart on the pajamas.
I cast Bark Skin on myself as I'm hearing all of this, assuming we're going into battle.
Yeah, again, sound keeps getting louder and louder.
Perhaps maybe close these shutters, actually.
And even the the ogre bouncer outside, sitting there, everyone looks confused by this.
Oh, what about our merchandise outside?
Oh, crap.
Twaddle. Twaddle's out there. I'm going to enter Twaddle's mind and take a look.
I'll say that was in the stable.
The wagon wouldn't be.
The wagon's outside,
Yeah.
and Twaddle is on the wagon.
I already showed you what happened to Twaddle.
Twaddle's off the wagon now.
What?
He's drunk.
Oh, I doubt it.
You don't know Waddle as well as you think you do.
Yeah.
And that's why he's developed this drinking problem.
Either way, I enter into his mind to see what he sees.
He sees, basically he sees like various draconians and hobgoblins and goblins and some humans, all obviously from the dragon armies, standing looking around very confused.
I think we should go to the cart and get the merchandise. Bring it inside.
I think that's a great idea. It doesn't look like
Quickly.
there's any real threat currently, but there's a lot of people that are definitely on alert.
Yeah, nobody seems to know what's going on, but they're all a little concerned and confused.
Yeah, okay.
Something
We'll,
very weird is happening.
Rush out to the cart to get the lances.
All right, who is going outside to get the lances?
Jadek.
I'll be going out to provide cover.
Yeah, same.
I
Jadek.
keep my mind, or Twaddle is in my mind.
My mind's on my twaddle, and my twaddle's on my mind.
Yeah, Jadek will go out and just provide like protection. Make
All
sure
right.
he gets his stuff in.
So, let's just go down the line here. Starting with Michael, you are staying inside with
Staying
so you can
inside,
keep
but I
an
continue
eye
to possess-
through
right.
Twaddle. Yeah.
I'm gonna actually run up to the roof with him so I can try to get a better vantage point to try to see.
So Twaddle is going to run up to the roof. And you're going to see
Waddle's
through him.
running up to the roof,
Got it.
yeah, and I'm gonna try to get a better vantage point to
Got
see
Okay,
if I
perfect.
see something coming.
Jadek is going outside to assist. Feldspar's going outside to get the
Yeah.
lances.
Preferably wrapped in some sort of tarp or
Yeah,
blanket.
they're not just sitting there wide, open. I mean, you did have them skewered with potatoes earlier, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're
That
all
counts as
wrapped up.
camouflage.
Yeah, they're all wrapped up. Kerwin.
I'm going and covering Jadek's back.
All right, outside, and Vantellis. You're muted.
Vantellis will go outside to assist. Ethan is continuing to play.
Got it. Okay. Got to play a little louder. They're harshing your vibe.
That's right.
Good thing you rolled that 29. All
Breaks
right.
into some thunderstruck.
I try to use it. I try to use the sound in the music. I'm trying to complement it rather than fight against it.
There you go.
Right.
Cool. And as you guys run outside, and you head to the wagon, not far from the tavern, but far enough, probably 20, 30 feet away. The Twaddle, the squirrel, right? Squirrel?
Squirrel, yep.
Runs up the side of the tavern up to the roof. As soon as he gets there, he sees coming out through the gates from the sewers. They just sort of like push out the gate, and coming out of them are a combination of counter 19. Hold on. I don't know why my invent turned into an encounter. That's not in the same place. And I think I've got to go. This is a really weirdly constructed module, especially compared to the other ones. Because they have all of the events in one place, the encounters in one place, which sometimes they do. But these are in no particular order versus, compared to where you are in the city. Event 19. I said 19, right?
Yep.
There we go. And this also happens well before events 1 through 18. So I'm just also going to throw that out
Yep.
there. Douglas Niles.
Sounds about right.
All right. You see what looks like a whole bunch of skeletons, and I'm talking multiple hundreds. Tens and tens of zombies, and I'm talking close to 100. More than 20 whites. More than 10 wraiths.
Okay, at that point I stopped
More than
counting.
20 banshee. More than 10 banshees.
I'm running out of fingers.
And before you run downstairs, Chris Andrew cheers 100 to Twaddle. Finally, the age-old battle of squirrel versus undead is
Yes.
about to begin.
Truly the main character.
And then you just see Twaddle take like his headband with the symbol of his people, wrap it around his head and tie it tightly. And when he ties it tightly, it just cuts to the back of his head as he's tying it.
Yeah.
And then he comes and he puts his hands out in
It's kind of like
fashion
Gizmo and Gremlins
and gives
too.
the Come on, let's go move.
I will actually.
And by the
yell
way,
out-
there's also one lich in there as well. You noticed, Twaddle.
Me, Stone Moss, who's still in the tavern, yells out to Ethan, who's still playing. You let him know there's undead coming, hundreds.
And before we do this, if I could get everybody, and I know 5e, nobody cares about alignments, but I need everyone's alignments because this is a 1e book. Outside. So who do we have?
Stone Moss is neutral good.
Stone Moss. Well, he's inside still, right? But you're neutral good.
Yeah.
All right. What about Jadek?
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral. What about Vantellis?
Neutral good.
Neutral good. What about Feldspar?
I should have had this on my character sheet, but I'm going to say chaotic good.
That makes sense for Feldspar. And who else is out there? Anybody?
Well, Twaddle is
Kerwin.
Twaddle is technically a Fae, and Faes are chaotic neutral.
So Twaddle is. I can't believe I'm running Twaddle here in my book. Kerwin.
Lawful evil.
We've learned a lot about Kerwin here all of a sudden. What is it really?
That explains so much.
Lawful good.
I mean, he could have been. You never know.
Secret
Plot
double
twist.
agent.
Yeah.
All right.
A secret triple agent.
I stand back to back with Jack and I pull my sword out and slash him right in the back.
Sucker. All right.
Meanwhile, Caleb is aligning himself with Raceland to bring.
I thought Kalen was the apprentice already.
Well, yeah.
He's getting there.
Aligning himself, yeah. Apprentice, yeah.
This is just the start of their relationship. All right. By the way, we had Burke and Curlithlon going out to Kitiara's. Is that true?
Burke had not left. And Burke is true neutral anyway.
Well, what were you?
We had not left because we were.
What
trying
were
to
you
figure
planning
out
on doing? I know you haven't left yet, but what was your plan?
We were waiting
trying to
for
wake up
we were waiting for Gorell to wake up.
Gorell.
You were waiting for Gorell to wake up. Okay, so you do hear all of this, but you were inside of the little hut there that you were in before, the cabin.
Garel finding that trap may have saved you.
Good, yeah.
I mean, he's passed out now. I mean, he smells like alcohol.
All right, so back to the other group by the cart.
This might have been a bad plan.
You don't see where you are right now what is happening, but does Ethan run out to yell or yell out what are you doing? How are you alerting them?
Work it into the song.
Yeah, there we go.
Bad moon rising.
All of a sudden you start singing Thriller.
Like in the doorway. Speaking.
Where the hell is Elliston? Elliston is back with Lord Gunther.
Drinking mulled wine.
Yeah. Yeah, Elliston is the one who got Twaddle hooked on the sauce. Chuck, that's canon. Please put it in the wiki.
Done.
Thank you. All right.
And now all this undead is coming up out of the sewers?
They're all coming out of the sewers, and they are flooding the streets.
Okay.
But we don't know they're coming yet.
I mean, you hear them getting louder and louder and louder.
I mean, if Ethan doesn't do anything, Stone Moss will start running to the door and yelling the alert. course, he's doing it blindly and probably bouncing off of tables as he does so because
Yeah.
his eyes are and ears and whatnot are still with
roll
Waddle.
me a
That's okay.
dex-
We just think you're still drunk.
Roll me a dexterity check with disadvantage.
Well, that's already a negative, so 17 though.
Wow, you somehow are able to
Hey.
navigate the tables and chairs of this establishment.
It's because I'm still pretty much drunk.
Yeah,
I'm able
yeah.
to like
They're
just
canceling
dance
each other
around.
Yeah,
out.
you're bobbing and weaving because of the drunkenness has somehow allowed you to elude the tables, chairs, and patrons.
The camera pans out and there's Odie moving everything out of his path.
Yeah. So you hear what being yelled out the window, Michael?
Hundreds of undead heading this way. Get in here. We didn't need to barricade. Bad ones.
As opposed to the good undead,
Oh.
like Casper.
Working on it. and
They've
it's so
strung
far-
up Casper, those sons of bitches.
All right, I'll help Feldspar grab some of the
And
lances.
Patrick
and carry
Swayze
him
from
in.
Ghost. You should see what they're doing to him.
And then Bruce Willis from I See Dead People. That's not pretty.
Oh my god. Oh no. Don't look. Don't look. Especially not you, Kerwin. You're lawful good.
We'll
You'll never
we
get
just
that
get
image
on.
out of your mind.
We get on either end of this this bundle of lances and carry it like a stretcher.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the others defend us.
All right. So with that, I think Jadek will be like, "All right, guys. I think we need to go inside and start taking steps towards." He'll like have his shield up and start taking steps towards the door, back to the door.
All right. The rest of you, I'm assuming, are following suit.
Oh, yep.
You get around the corner of the tavern, and you see the door, and you see the ogre, and he's just looking like, "What the fuck is going on?"
You would
And
probably have heard me. I wasn't being quiet.
yeah, no, everybody, yeah, but even so, like, he's just like shocked that this is happening. Like, he believes you. He can see what you're yelling is true. As down this street comes, Chris Andrews says this is like From Dusk Till Dawn. Where is Salma Hayek? That's Ethan.
That's Twaddle.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
Twaddle. Yeah, Twaddle's also
Doing
a
it.
sexy vampire lounge.
Doing a sultry dance
Yeah.
up on the roof.
While also performing karate.
Yeah.
It's got a couple of paper clips and a rubber band and a pencil that's been sharpened up real nice for his
Is he also part of the Lost Boys now, or?
well, yeah.
At this point, why not?
And you see them, and they're coming this, and again, there's probably total of easily 400, close to 400 various undeads of different shapes, sizes, and flavors coming towards you. And you feel like we could make a break for it. We might just make it to this door. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session. So thank you guys for hanging out with us during D&D Fridays. Dogma sucked, by the way, Brominard. We don't want anything to do with a shit demon or Dogma. I'm not a Kevin Smith fan. I'm going to throw it out there. I don't think he's funny.
That's it.
And
And that was the last we ever saw of Cam-Chan.
He's not really moving to Rome. He's just
Yeah, he's just yeah.
Just pissed off.
He's full little will.
I'm taking my dice and going home.
The very worst issues of Daredevil was when Kevin Smith wrote them.
I
Read them again. They're even worse than you remember.
I
I
have it
remembered them
here.
being shitty.
I have it here.
They are not
I
the
brought it with
worst
me.
Daredevil.
They're not
no,
the worst.
They're
They're
terrible.
not the worst.
They're terrible.
I'm not saying they're not terrible, but they are not the worst.
No, some
Like
of the
they're
early
terrible
ones
in a mediocre way.
Yeah, the early ones are pretty bad. I'm working my way through. I'm up to like 1972, I think, right now. So I'm through like almost 10 years of Daredevil. The first 10 years, I've read everything from like 2000 on. I've read the bulk of the 80s and 90s, but I'm missing some issues there. And I'm working on reading every single Daredevil issue that there is. And
All right.
for the most part, it's worth it. Although those early ones are tough, especially the Stan Lee ones. Love Stan Lee, but
Yeah.
whew,
But
tough to get through.
It was a different time.
very, very dated.
Oh
Very
yeah,
dated. That's
yeah,
how I
yeah,
like
yeah.
it, yeah.
And it's 10 years
Love the
later,
guy,
and it's
love
we still haven't seen much of a difference. By the way, so I'm working through them slowly now. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us D&D Fridays. We appreciate it as always. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. But for Gaz, Chuck, Michael, Sedgwick, and Ken-chan, I am Adam saying goodnight. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. And we will see you next time on DragonLance.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.